Hello boys and girls, this week in art we are creating winter cardinals. We will be cutting, gluing, and painting for this project. You will also need 3 pieces of paper. To create the background for our project, we are going to use watercolor paint. I like laying down some paper towels first before beginning to paint. That way I can get the edges without making the table messy. Overlapping the paper towels allows you to not spill around the edges. We're going to begin by painting by swirling our paintbrush in the water and taking that dripping part of the brush and wiping it on the side of our water cup. We always make sure that the paint stays on the brush part, not on the metal part. And we're going to take our paint and gently brush over to just apply a little bit on the paint brush. I know it's purple, it's kind of dark to see. But we're just very gently, we're not digging in the paint, we just very gently get the paint. If we want to change colors, we make sure we wash off our brush and get a new color. So I'm using blue, and I'm just going to make some marks on the paper. I'm going to paint the whole thing. And because I want it to be a winter scene with some winter cardinals, I might be using some blues and maybe some purples to create the background for our project. So you can use blue, you can use purple. If you want it to be more like a sunset or a sunrise, you can use a little bit of orange and yellow as well. So I'm making sure I get the edge of the paper, all the little areas where the white is. I want to make sure that I paint the whole paper. Now that I've painted the entire paper, I'm looking to make sure that there's no more white spots, and I'm going to set my paper aside so that it can dry. I can then use the paper towels to wipe up any areas where there might have been paint that got on the table, and I can keep those to the side or recycle them if I need to. The second piece of paper that we're using, we are going to cut, and we want to make sure that the blade is pointed away from us. We're going to take our thumb and place it in the circle hole, and we're going to place our fingers in the long oval hole. And we're going to open our scissors all the way, close them all the way, open all the way, close. And we're going to cut, starting at making sure that we are cutting away from ourselves. Our fingers are on the other side of our paper to keep them safe. And we're going to cut a straight piece of paper all the way from one side all the way to the other side. So cutting a long rectangle out. And when we're done with our scissors, we place them down. I'm going to cut all the paper. The next strip, I might do a skinnier strip, cutting from one side all the way to the other, keeping our hand away from ourselves, making sure that the blade is pointed away from us, all the way down, and cut all the different pieces out. And last one. So we have some thick pieces, some thin pieces, long strips of paper. And these are going to be used for our trees. We'll have 3 trees, and we'll have some little branches sticking off of those trees. Now that I'm done with my scissors, I'm putting them down. I don't need them anymore, so I'm not going to play with them. I'm going to use a marker to add some details to the branches or the trees. I'm going to do some curved line, a spiral, and another curved line to create the bark on the tree. I'm going to do one at the top, one in the middle, and one at the bottom. Then I might do some little straight lines on the sides to give it some more detail as well. On the smaller paper, I'm just going to do some little marks or straight lines on the sides as I go down. For the bigger pieces, I'm going to make them into the trunk of the tree. So I'm doing a curved line, a spiral, and another curved line to close it up. Doing 3 of those, one at the top, one in the middle, and one at the bottom. And then adding some little marks on the edges to add more detail. Here's another tree trunk. Curved line, spiral, another curved line. At the bottom of the tree trunk, curved line, spiral, and another curved line, and some little lines on the sides to give it some more detail. Now that we have all of our pieces created, we can set those aside and we can get our background piece and we can start gluing our branches onto our background. So my glue bottle is closed, so I have to twist it open, make sure that it works, and we're ready. We need 3 tree trunks and 2 branches. We're going to take those branches and we're going to cut them in half to create 4 branches. And we're going to take our tree trunks and we're going to place them on our paper so that they reach the top and the bottom of our paper. And then we will place our branches diagonally on the tree trunks so that it looks like the branches are coming out of the trees. Once we've positioned our branches the way we want them, we're going to take our glue and we're going to add just a dot, not a lot. Just a dot, not a lot. So little dots on the back of our tree branch or our tree trunk, and then press, press, press for 10 seconds. Lift up, and we're going to do that for our little branches as well. Just a dot, not a lot. We don't need to go all the way down because our branch comes off the paper. Press, press, press. And we'll do our next tree branch. Just a dot, not a lot. Press, press, press. Now, our branches might go on top of our other tree trunks, and that's okay. Just a dot, not a lot. And we can place it down, making sure it touches the bottom and top, and then we can put that branch on top back where we had it before. We're going to do the last tree trunk. Just a dot, not a lot. Place it down. Press, press, press. And we need to make sure that we glue on all of our branches. Just a dot, not a lot. This one was here. And I'm going to have it going over that tree trunk. And our last branch, just a dot, not a lot. Press, press, press. And now we have our branches and our background. On our third and last piece of paper, we're going to make our cardinals. We're going to start by making a diagonal line. and then draw a curved line like a letter C that goes from the top of that diagonal line to the bottom to close it up and make a semicircle or a half circle. Then we're going to make a rectangle coming off the bottom of that circle. We're going to make a teardrop shape, kind of like a curve that has a point at the end for the wing, a curved line for the face, a circle for the eye, a circle inside that circle, one more tiny little circle in that circle, a triangle for the nose, and a line in the middle to make the mouth open and close. Once we have our cardinal drawn, we can go over it with a marker and then color it in with some crayons or some markers. And now we're ready to cut out our cardinal. So remember, we must be safe with our scissors. We want to make sure that we're cutting away from ourselves. This one is a little bit more tricky. When I cut, I'm actually turning the paper and not turning my scissors. So you can see my hand is guiding the paper to turn and move around the bird. But I'm not turning my scissors, I'm only turning my paper. So I'm using my hand to turn the paper the way I want it. Now if paper gets in the way, I can cut it off. I can also go back and move closer to get those little white pieces. Turning the paper again. Trying to move the paper around. Making sure to keep my fingers out of the way. Being safe. If that piece is in the way, I can cut it off. Turning the paper again. Turn the paper. Turn the paper again. And a little bit more for the beak. And a last little curve of the paper to cut out our bird. I'm going to take that winter cardinal and I'm going to place it on our background where it can sit on a branch. And I'm going to use my glue, just a dot, not a lot. Little dots all over the back of the bird to glue on our winter cardinal. Press, press, press. Make sure that our winter cardinal stays on and doesn't come off the paper by pressing and holding for 10 seconds. And then I can use a marker and add some little toes or little fingers or little toes to make the bird look like he's sitting on a branch. If I want, I can add more winter cardinals using the scrap of paper that I've used to cut out the first winter cardinal. I can make them little or big. I made 3. You're welcome to make 3 or 4 if you want to. And make sure that you turn the paper and are being safe with your scissors while you cut out. If you want to add some straight lines or curved lines to make it look like feathers on your birds, you're welcome to do that as well. All right, boys and girls, and here we have it. We created some painted background paper for the sky. We cut some long strips of paper for our tree trunks and our branches. And then we created shapes and placed them together to create our winter cardinals. We cut out making sure that we are being safe. And we added just a dot, not a lot of glue to create and place our birds on our paper and place our branches on our paper. I hope that you enjoyed creating these winter cardinals. I can't wait to see your creation. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.